Well, here I am at my next destination in my family search, Dover, Tennessee. It is the beginning of my second day here in Tennessee. Dover, Tennessee is where I am precisely. And I'm getting started rather late because I had kind of a hit and miss day yesterday. Um, I can't explain I can't explain it very well. The environment in Tennessee is just different. I haven't quite got acclimated to the surroundings yet. And then plus, in addition to that, I think this is the weightier thing. My car is giving me problems. It runs, but it doesn't run. It's and I don't know if it's the heat, because yesterday it was rather hot. Um, so I don't know. I'm hoping to be able to find a mechanic. I talked to the lady who runs this place, and she knew a couple of mechanics. But the interesting thing is, it's hard to find locations here because it's like it's like you're in a woods and there's just buildings sporadically on a road, and not really as opposed to Kansas where everything is just open, and then here's a town, and there's more open space, and then there's a town. This is like no open space, lots of woods, hills, and then there'll be a collection of buildings and houses here, and then there's a road there. So hopefully I can find something, because if the car goes, I'm going to be in big trouble if I have car problems. So as far as yesterday goes, interesting day. Stopped at the visitor center coming into Dover. Two very friendly people. I intend on returning there. I in my quest to find the county courthouse where I would look through the records, I stopped at the mayor's office. The lady gave me directions. I asked her if there's any historical society in the area. She gave me the name of, and I can't remember the name. I wrote it down. I have it in my phone book. But I called this lady that she gave me the name of, and I met with her. And ironically, it's really strange how things work out. But the lady I met with, I'm going to say her name was Lorena or Lena. She works at a workforce, employment area, and she was at the library, actually in the genealogy room when I came in. So we sat there at the table, not two strangers, and then suddenly we meet later. Well, this lady, Lena, I think her name was, she gives me the name of a sexton in the area, a Ray sexton, who, if I understood her correctly, was directly related to Britton Sexton. So that will be exciting. I called Ray last night, and we're going to meet at the Historical Society meeting tonight. Elena told me that they're having a meeting on Tuesday nights, and tonight's Tuesday. So at 7 o'clock I will be at the where the building is. Hopefully I haven't forgotten how to get there. And hopefully my car doesn't give me problems. The courthouse was a disappointment because it seems like with Kentucky, they don't have any birth or death records. Those are all kept in the state capitol in Nashville. The marriage records were really almost non-existent. I think the lady said something about there was a fire, so I didn't get much there either. But I'm hoping to see if I can get a lot of good information tonight. Where I am, this is my new surroundings. This is a cabin. I think it's called LBL Whispering Pines Campground. It's a little bigger than the one there at KOA I had in Kentucky. Every place is different, but it's got the same rustic interior. It's got a bed this time, with a mattress. Probably, I think that's why I slept so long today. I mean, it just, when you put the problems with the car and all that stuff, and you're not acclimated to the environment yet, it just doesn't bode for an early morning rise. It's got its own restroom, and so that's kind of convenient. And the TV, naturally everyone has to have a TV. In spite of the TV, I kind of feel like I'm roughing it. And let me show you what I mean. Anybody who saw the Hatfields and McCoys excellent program on the History Channel last month, this kind of gives that same type of flavor. You know, I know that they're not the same size of the cabins that people back in the 1800s would have had, but it's just kind of interesting. And you got the real tall trees. I don't know what the trees are. Pine tree? No, not pine trees. But it is quite an experience, and I hope to learn a lot. It might be of benefit if I give a little backtrack information on my Tennessee visit. I visited the library, and they had a wonderful genealogy room and a big book on sextons. I got some of the information out of it, but I didn't get all of it. So I think for me personally, finding pictures is always the highlight of any family search. And this picture here, according to what was written on the back of it, is what is believed to be the family of John T. Sexton. And there's a lot of John T. Sexton, but I think this is the John Tyler Sexton. This is interesting because it is an oath of allegiance, and I had no idea that my family was so ingrained within the Confederate cause. You know, Tennessee was a Confederate state, and there's a number of people in the Confederate Army back in those days of the Civil War. What was interesting about this picture here, the Standing Rock Methodist Church, is not only that some of my ancestors helped to found it, but it also served as a meeting place for the Masons back in those days. And I had no idea any of my ancestors, family members, were Masons, but from some of the headstones I've been able to see, that they do have the Masonic symbol. And last but not least, here's the Sexton family book that was at the Stewart County Library that I would like to see again. Atticus just kind of wandering around, you know, looking at things. He's a good dog. I come across a building that had said something like mayor's office, and I thought, well, they ought to know where the courthouse is. I stop in, the lady gives me great directions, and then I ask her about is there any historical or genealogy societies in the area. She then gives me the name of a lady. I want to say the lady's name was Jane Bagwell. I could have that wrong. I think that's what her name was. But she gives me this lady's name and her number. I call the lady, and then I meet this lady at her place of work. It was probably half an hour before they were to close for the day. Well, ironically enough, this lady was the very same lady I'd seen at the Stewart County Library in the genealogy room doing some research as I was doing some research. So I was sitting right across from this very lady I needed to talk to. And she was extremely helpful, very nice, and she invited me to the Historical Society meeting, the Stewart County Historical Society meeting that was happening the following night. And she even told me about a gentleman who would be there, one Ray Sexton. Now Ray was he was either a great-grandson or a great-great-grandson to Britton Sexton, who was he was the first Sexton to come into the Tennessee area. In fact, one of the pioneering families to Dover was Britton Sexton and his family. Here's Ray with his daughter Jackie and his wife Carol. And I have to say, I could not have been more honored to be part of this company at the Historical Society meeting of that night. The people made me feel very welcome, and I was very honored to be there. It is early on Wednesday morning. Today is the 27th of June. It's just a little bit past 7 o'clock. I am up early, thankfully, because I am on my way for my first trip into Paris, Tennessee. Last night was an amazing night. Not only did I have some good information on the car, so it looks like the car is going to survive, but I finally met a direct family member. At the Stewart County Historical Society meeting last night, an amazing group of people. You know, I I was thrilled just being in the company of such people. Um, I met Ray Sexton, who is obviously a cousin. I don't know, like third, fourth, second. That still kind of puzzles me how that all works out. But his grandfather was Britton Sexton, and Britton Sexton was a brother to my, I think it's third great grandfather, James Sexton. So, and he couldn't have been nicer. And I met his wife, and even his daughter came by and took pictures. And I will be meeting with him at the library tomorrow morning around 9:30, and it was just a fantastic night. So now I'm going into Paris. Interesting. I was presuming that the majority of my family in Tennessee was from Paris, Tennessee, but last night I was looking over my notes again, and it seems that the majority of the Sextons were from this area, from Stewart County or from Dover, because I didn't see anybody except my great-grandfather, James Taylor Sexton, and his siblings who were born in Paris. So I don't know what I can find over there, but I am anxious to go over there and find out.